everything we do, every decision we make leads us to where we are today. Shayna Leigh, next on the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting live to at least 3 people on Spreaker.com. I never talk to strangers unless they're hot. The Ice Cream Man is evil. Justin Bieber was sent to this planet to destroy the minds of teenage girls. When my hand falls asleep, I like to slap myself in the face with it because it feels like a stranger is attacking me. And I happen to love ponies as well. So, do you want a date?
Thank you.
Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there was a night of black back in 1970. We didn't know about the World Wide Web, was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groove along here, just walking in style with a portable MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program.
This is the Chris Top program.
And I'm the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from our lavish home studio here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How in the hell are you doing, world? This is it. Man, today has flown by way too fast. It's a little depressing. But then again, I've still got Shayna to talk to, so that makes me feel pretty good. But it goes by way too fast. We started at 2 o'clock today. Now it's 6 o'clock. We'll wrap it up by 7-ish. So I don't know. I love doing this, and I swear to you, I feel like I've been sitting here 10 minutes. Because it's pretty crazy, because as soon as one show's over, I've usually got 5 or 10 minutes to set up for the next one, and then we do that, and then it's just bam, 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 bam. And earlier, Allie came home, and she heated up some leftovers, and she didn't finish it all. And so she set it in front of me, and I couldn't eat any of it. I don't even think that was very nice. I mean, it was nice that she gave them to me, but then she just kind of slid them in front of me while I was talking to my last guest, and I stared at it for at least a good 20 minutes, and I couldn't eat it. And then as soon as the show was over, man, I dove into it. I dove into it like a hungry little dog, and it was delicious. Oh man, but it had crossed my mind once. I thought, should I just end the show now so I can eat, because I'm really hungry. But no, I'm good now. I could go another 30 minutes. I'm kidding. But anyway, we've got Shayna Leigh on the show. Shayna is super talented, absolutely gorgeous, and she seems like a really down-to-earth, humble, good person type. And that's what we shoot for on the show. We don't always get that, but I think we've pretty much nailed it. With Shayna that's coming up next. So make sure you join the chat on the ChrisTopProgram.com. You can leave comments, ask questions. It's really a lot of fun. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then more than likely you are listening on iHeartRadio or Stitcher or one of those sites, and those are archive shows. So make sure you catch us live sometime. I appreciate you listening regardless, whether it's live or not. Don't get me wrong. But it is just a little extra fun, I think, when you're able to catch us live, so you can leave your questions and comments and stuff. So we got Shayna Leigh coming up next. Magnolia Emporium, located in historic South End in Charlotte's Gold District, right next to historic Wilmore neighborhood. Home decor.
Home decor.
Interior design.
Interior design.
Residential and hospitality open to the trade. 307 Lincoln Street in the dark gray building, right behind Unknown Brewery and Craft Growler Shop. Magnolia Emporium.
Listening to what a client wants, whether spoken or unspoken.
We want your space to reflect your success.
Music that will change your soul.
Is my music life-changing? Yeah. Yes, it is life-changing. It will make people do great things, possibly even fly.
I mean, this guy is a world-famous broadcaster, and next thing we know, he's hanging with T-Pain out in the green room. This guy don't stop.
No, this guy can't afford to stop. There are too many women out there that need to feel empowered, and that's what my music does.
The vocals, nobody can touch it. Lyrically, it's almost like it was written by Moses.
No, it's not just about booties bouncing. It's about life. It's about death. It's about every single thing we take for granted.
For me, it's about love and harmony.
The greatest song of all time? I don't know.
Booties Bounce is the greatest song of all time!
Yeah, Chris Top in the house. Dorks of the world unite, y'all. Oh, yeah, boy. Here we go. I like to watch them booties bounce, them booties bounce. Oh, I like to watch them booties bounce, 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 bounce. I like to watch them booties bounce, them booties bounce, 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 bounce. Oh yeah, dorks of the world unite. Life is good. Peace out.
But that's the thing about Chris Top. He wasn't just a one-trick pony.
Obviously, Booties Bounce was a #1 hit for me. That put a lot of pressure on me going back into the studio.
How can someone write 2 songs to end all songs? It's not even possible.
Well, I wanted the second song to be totally different, but I wanted it to be equally as empowering.
I would set myself on fire and jump off a building for Chris Top.
Oh yeah, I love the fans. They're the reason I do what I do. After months and months in the studio, we finally came out with it, our second #1 hit.
Yeah. Yo, this is Chris Top in the house. Laying down the smack for the second time. That's right, my bitches. This one's called Boobies Bounce. Yeah, here we go. I like to watch them boobies bounce. Them boobies bounce, bounce, bounce. I like to watch them boobies bounce. I like to watch, I like to watch, I like to watch them boobies bounce, 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 bounce. I like to watch them boobies bounce. Them boobies bounce. I like to watch them boobies bounce, 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 bounce. Dorks of the world unite, yo. I'm out.
Thanks to Chris Top, women around the world are not afraid to let their boobies bounce.
It's really cool. I'll walk into a club somewhere and people just start singing the lyrics to me. I don't even know how they memorized them that fast.
Boobies bounce.
Do I feel like a god? No, I don't.
Chris Top is a god.
Oh yeah, I'll absolutely go back to broadcasting. But for now, I just want to enjoy the limelight.
And watch your booties bounce.
This has been a Chris Top production.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program. Take it from the top.
You are absolutely, positively, 100% for sure in the right place. This is the Chris Top program. And I'm going to tell you this. I do not, nor will I ever take any of you for granted, because there's a million other things you could be doing. But guess what? You chose to listen to me, and that makes me feel pretty darn good. It really, really, really does. Now, Shayna, I am so super impressed with you. I'm going to try my hardest not to fanboy while we're doing this interview.
You're making my day.
Well, good. Because I came across you, I think, on Twitter. I guess it was maybe, 3 weeks ago-ish?
Yes.
Something like that? Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's about right.
Yeah, so, and I do that. I'll go through through Twitter sometimes, and I'll check out some artists, and sometimes I'm like, and then sometimes I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, she is really good, and you were like one of the really good ones.
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and I'm just totally blown away with your stuff, and I love Drive and I love Typhoon, and I put them in order. We're going to play Drive first because I think Typhoon's my favorite. Okay, and
Typhoon
now
came after Drive. So
okay,
and we actually in our process, the producers and I believe Typhoon was referred to as Drive's like elderly brother.
Oh,
like not elderly, but like Drive's older brother.
Sure,
like his like second cousin.
Gotcha. And Drive seems a little deeper, and I'm assuming that Drive's maybe a personal song for you.
Drive is the most personal song for me.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, some of the other songs are actually personal as well off of the album. None that have been released yet as singles. But yeah, Drive was the first one we wrote, and it was the beginning of what has become, an album full album collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right after Martin Luther King Day, and I produced music with other producers who were amazing. But I was looking for my sound, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
What I wanted to sound like, and what I felt like suited me and the world, and creating things is a long kind of twisty process. You end up with lots of different places, with lots of different people making lots of different things. And with Drive, I just felt like suddenly I had touched on something that I felt like really needed to be said in a way that I really connected to saying it. It was a magical kind of healing experience for me, because a lot of what the song was talking about is sort of about connecting with yourself and sticking it out on your own behalf through tough times is kind of what I was going through when we were writing the song. And I didn't set out to write it about that. So it was this almost, I mean, I don't want to be over dramatic about it, but it was a fairly life-changing experience for me writing that song. So it will always kind of feel like the song that lives in, right next to my heart.
Sure. Now, so you're still having these little inner battles. Then it's not something that you've even overcome, but it's something that I guess you're still a work in progress on.
I think if we're gonna be honest, all of us works in progress. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like I confront something and I do really well, and then the next day I confront something else, and I feel like I'm back at square one. I know I'm not, because I think you grow and learn how to be who you want to be. But I think life can be difficult, and things pop up to test us all the time.
Sure.
And music has been, for me, something that I've turned to in those times.
Mm-hmm. And
because of that, I want to be a part of the world of music.
Mm-hmm. It's great, and I've told other artists this, but you don't even need to ever worry about having to get a psychiatrist, right? Because music is your therapy.
Music is my therapy. Yeah, it is, but it's not, because for me anyway, there's always a larger picture in mind. I want to connect with other people. I don't want to belabor my own hardships. I want to find solutions that work for me to see if they might work for you. And I want to hear about your solutions,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of the cool thing between, artist or person who makes music and the people who listen to it, is that, somebody's take on your song can change the way you see your song. And then they're teaching you through your music, and you're connecting, and I just think it's really cool.
It is. It's just like a good painting. I mean, you might have 10 different people that'll see it 10 different ways, but which is cool, and it's art. It's art. So now you grew up in Orlando, And your first love, I guess, was theater.
It was. I did theater and I did some commercials, and that's sort of what led me to singing. I still study acting because I love it and because I would love to, one day, pursue it in some way. But I think it's an impulse to self-express for whatever reason that keeps these things interconnected. I think that music is a very different way of expressing myself, and I ended up back writing music. I started writing when I was in high school, and then I took a little break and was doing more acting, and then I got back to writing music because I just felt like there was something I wanted to say as myself. And it's it took me a while to feel solid in myself, and I felt like I wanted to write about that journey and talk to other people about their experiences, because I think that the period between like college and adulthood, college into adulthood, is something we sometimes gloss over because we're already grown up, but we're not grown up,
Yeah, I don't feel grown. I'm 44 years old and I don't feel grown up.
Yeah, I feel like some days I feel like I get it, and some days I feel like I don't know anything,
Sure. If you had to choose one, what do you think you would go to? Do you think it would be acting or singing?
I think I chose singing. I certainly chose it first.
Did you choose it or did it choose you?
It chooses you. I mean, the whole thing chooses you.
Right.
Because, creative pursuits are hard. They're my problems are very first world. My life is great, but doing creative things is challenging.
Sure. What do you think it is? So what do you think the draw is? Because I talk to a lot of artists on the show. I mean, hundreds. And what do you think it is about being up on the stage like that? And I know you can relate to this and more than just music. I mean, is it just the magic of standing up there and performing for people, or is it something simple like the applause when you're done?
For me, it's not the applause when you're done. It's the during. I think it's probably different for different people. For me, it is the during. It is it's my favorite moment of all is my favorite / least favorite moment is like right before you go on stage where you're like, all right, who knows what's going to happen? I've prepared, we rehearsed, but you don't know really what's going to happen in that moment. I think that that's addictive. I think it's a natural impulse for some people. I think it might be as simple as that. I think you can. Some of my closest friends hate being the center of attention. They don't like anything performative. My mom will not speak in public. Literally, like, ask her to make a toast at one of our birthday parties, and she can't do it. She has a lot to say, but she can't speak in public. And I think I have the exact opposite impulse. I hope that I'm not an obnoxious human being, but like my impulse is always to speak.
Sure.
So I think it might just be a natural thing. And I think because the pursuit of it is challenging, a lot of people don't follow that instinct. And I think that's neither good nor bad. But I would say there's just a chunk of the population who are just like, yes, we need to speak. We need to be heard in some way.
I can tell when I watch your videos that you've definitely got the theatrical background, because you have a great presence and you do come across as being larger than life. But I mean, you also seem like you're the type of person that's really easy to connect with as well.
I try really hard to be. I think those are things I aspire to. I don't know.
Well, you're doing good then.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you do pursue a career in something, and when you want to be an artist, I have quotations around the word artist in my mind. there is sort of a crossroads you come to, is like, do you create an identity, like a larger than life character, a la Beyonce, Lady Gaga, you know what I mean? These like sort of icons. Or do you go the route of being a theatricalized version of yourself? I chose the latter because I feel like so much of what I'm about as a human, or like what my life has been about so far, is learning how to be myself. So I better be it. You know, I'm doing a lot of work to try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, but I think that there's a fine line, because yeah, we do want to see a performance, but we also want to get to know a person. And being able to do both those things, I think, is maybe where the magic lies, you know?
Sure, absolutely. And when you write your music, and obviously a lot of your music, or I guess probably all of it comes from personal experiences, so it really gives the audience, I think, a chance to really get to know you. And I think as an artist, you want to develop that connection, because you can go anywhere and hear a great song, but if you don't connect with the artist, then, you know, what good is it really?
I totally agree. And I think actually that was a lesson I learned watching reality television voice shows. That I remember the first season of The Voice that when I watched, and my favorite was not the person with the empirically best voice. It was just the person who spoke to me somehow.
Yeah, it's almost like they're in the room with you hanging out.
Yeah, and you and you somehow, you know, instinctively respond to them. That was a very sort of turning point moment in my life.
Now, how does your family feel about your career choices? Are they 100% behind you, or were they like, you know, I wish you'd get a real job and be a dentist?
They are 100% behind me with reservations.
With reservations. Okay.
I mean, they're really 100% behind me. They support a lot of the making of the music, kind of in every facet, and are very important on my business team, and the first people that I ask opinions to. You know, my sister is actually in digital media research, so like she's always kind of giving me pointers about things that I shouldn't do. My mom helps my website. My dad is a musician; he helps with the music, but they all have real jobs. But I come from a creative family who encourages and is fully supportive of me. However, as I'm all for honesty, it is there are ups and downs, and when I'm in my downs, they're in their downs, and they have reservations.
Sure.
When, you know what I mean? So there's something to be said for that. It is, and that's maybe not something we talk about. Like, going into an artistic field can be tough on your friends and family, because there are elements to this career path that are so random that you can't search for reason in them.
Yeah, I agree.
It becomes difficult, you know, and they're kind of the unsung heroes of any artist, you know, the people who kind of put up with them, you know?
Yeah, and it's a scary profession to get in, really, because it's got to be intimidating for anybody, because there are a lot of people that can sing. There are a lot of beautiful people that can sing.
Yep.
So what do you do differently to get noticed?
And that is a question that some people will directly ask you. What makes you different? Yeah. And I still don't have an answer. So clearly you don't have to totally answer the question. You know, I think those things are true. I think those things are very true. I think that there are people with exceptional skills. You know, I keep up with friends of mine who are artists and people I know, and sometimes I see these videos and I'm like, wow, like that person has skills that like I do not have. But then, you know, the skill that I think I possess in the sort of greatest quantity is like I am somehow very unwilling to give up. And that in itself is a thing.
It is.
I never knew. I'm just like accidentally tenacious, because I don't really think of myself as that tenacious of a person.
Well, you know, I've been around Nashville for a while, and I've seen artists come and go within a matter of a month.
Yeah.
And that's just not long enough in Nashville.
Not long enough in anything.
No. And, I think they come in there with these visions of just, making it big and playing the Grand Ole Opry and LP field just right off the bat. And,
Right.
and then it doesn't happen and they get discouraged and they go home. And then you've got the ones that go ahead and get a job flipping burgers. And they stick around. They play the clubs when they're not working flipping burgers. And they keep doing it and they keep doing it. And I think if they last a year, then it's a success.
I think that I'm incredibly lucky because I've had a lot of support. So there are different levels of I think I've had a lot of emotional support. People around me have always told me it takes X number of years. And I have watched friends of mine put in those years. I've also, I think, watched, a lot of people I know have done well. So it's it's within reach. But yes, it takes a very long time sometimes. Sometimes not.
The talent and the persistence. I mean, if you've got that, then, you're in a good position, I think.
I think I have now decided that everyone who wants to be in any artistic field should go read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Because it talks about how, in a way, you have to decide that you're going to do what you're going to do no matter what, whether you fail or whether you succeed. Because in global terms, she decided she was going to be a writer, not she was going to be a famous writer, and she was going to do whatever she could to pay her bills and write, because writing was her, calling, whatever that sort of term is that you want to use. And I do think that, there is a degree to which you sign up for this for the long haul. And those are, I like to believe that ultimately you will succeed if you do that at some point, but we don't know. And we don't know what success, what is success anyway?
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you can define success in your own way and then hit it there, then you're doing okay. And it could be playing 2 or 3 bars a night, or it may be playing LP field, but whatever it is, as long as you're waking up happy in the morning, then you're good.
I mean, for me, it's a lot about being happy in the moment is a big goal, and then just kind of living my life on my own terms, whatever that looks like, and it does, look like music to me.
Sure.
But I think if I'm being autonomous over my own life, if I'm listening to my heart, for me, that's success.
Well, those are some pretty sweet words. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
What before we play Drive, what advice would you give to a young guy or a young lady that came up to you and said, "All right, look, Shane, I really want to get into the business. I think I can sing. I do pretty good. I've been practicing. I really want to make this my career." What kind of advice would you tell them?
I think that finding a community from which to begin is good. I think that there are lots of different ways to go about that, but I do think connecting with one person in the business after another is what's going to start you making progress, because you'll see what the people around you are doing and kind of do that. I think obviously make music. You know what I think? I think take to the internet. That's what I would say. And not in a gross way, but an artist. Do you want to be an artist? Start putting content up there. Don't be, I remember a few years ago when I had first written a set of songs co-written, and I was told, I need to have a strong profile and a footprint on the internet. And I was very overwhelmed by it because it feels like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. And it kind of does, but that's a really solid way to start. Start making content, get it on the internet, find a community, And then, you know, I think depending on what type of artist you are, play live or not. I mean, obviously everyone should play live, but some people, you know, create really cool things on GarageBand that they can like, or with their home studios that they can like start putting on, you know what I mean? Creating songs and getting things out there. I think exposure is the name of the game.
Yeah, and I mean the internet is it's just opened up so many different avenues for people. I mean you can get out there and put your own content out, and you don't really need anybody else to be heard. I think, and you can also develop your own fan base before you even go to a record label. You
can. I mean, I think that's possible. I think it's harder than it sounds because there's so much out there right now.
Yes, and that's the downside to it, because anybody can do it.
I know people. I know people who have achieved levels of success that started from things they put on the internet.
Sure, absolutely.
I know. Yes, I personal experience. It is possible.
Yeah.
Not my own experience, but I've seen it.
But you're getting there, and I think you're wonderful. You know, I watch your stuff.
I feel good about where I'm at.
Yeah, you should.
I feel very good about where I'm at, but I feel like I have a team. You know what I mean? I'm not. I feel like I'm not somebody. I consider myself like I feel like I run a bit of a business, and not in a bad way. But
it's totally a business. Yeah.
I feel like at this point, for me, it is like a bit of like a business that I run, as opposed to like a sort of like creative incubator thing. But that's because that's the way I see the world, you know?
Well, you almost have to, you have to be talented, of course, but then you also have to be a good business person, I think, to be a success.
Yeah, you have to be smart.
Or you have to surround yourself with a good business person.
Yeah, I think you have to know your strengths and know what you can do and what you need other people's help to do, even if it's just, friends, family, interns. Like, you need help with social media, put an ad on like a college board for an intern. Like they look for things like that, or something that pays like a little bit to a college student. They're happy to do it,
This is some good stuff. Now, before we play Drive, if I wanted to stalk you or find out more about you, buy some of your songs, where can I find you?
Everywhere. I am on Twitter and Instagram. My handle is Shayna Leigh. Shayna is spelled Shayna, and Leigh is Leigh. If you search Shayna Leigh on iTunes or Amazon, you will get my album. It's spelled the same way. YouTube, Shayna Leigh as well. Facebook, if you search Shayna Leigh, you will find me. So those are Periscope now. What are your favorites? Like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? What? Twitter is my favorite. Which when I first joined Twitter, I was like, I don't understand Twitter.
I still don't understand it.
I think that the sort of like fleeting nature of Twitter is just really fun for me, because I'll just be walking and think of something and like tweet it, and then it starts a dialogue. Because,
sure.
Twitter has been. I like feel like I have a ton of real friends who I call my Twitter friends, and they're like my friends.
We're tied on Twitter. Me and you are tied on Twitter now, right? Me and you are tied on Twitter now, right?
Yeah, we're Twitter. I meet the coolest people on Twitter.
Okay. I don't know if I'm cool. I wouldn't go that far, but still, we're Twitter buddies for life.
I meet the almost coolest people on
Twitter.
Okay,
thanks. Okay.
And I'm working on Instagram.
Yeah.
My sister told me I'm the worst photographer in the world, so
you can't have everything, right?
You can't have everything. I think I'm the most. I'm not. Yeah. I'm apparently very good at taking pictures of myself, but not of other things.
There you go. Well, just put other things in the background when you take a picture of yourself.
Exactly.
And then you're good.
Yeah, I mastered the art of selfies, but I can't do anything else. I'm useless.
All right, so we're going to play Drive, Shayna Leigh, right here on the Chris Top program.
Okay, up next we have Shayna Leigh, and she's going to be singing for us.
But I've been a lot like you, down and I'm hearted. Feels like cold blue, let's get you going. While you're frozen still, you don't hear the silence creeping in for the kill. So cry, all you're gonna cry, finger to the sky. Just run back to where you live, back before you crashed. Yeah, you'll find out what you're worth. Yeah, when you take that curve and drive, fight till you forget. 'Cause it's gone in a flash. Yeah, shock it back to life. Yeah, put your heart in drive. Dark is the traveler, haunted by shadows. Kick up some gravel, lighten your cargo. 'Cause I've been these miles, I know the other side. You won't remember why you ever cry. One gear gets you out of here. Shift on through the night. Just run back to where you live, back before you crash. Yeah, find out what you're worth. Yeah, when you take that curve and drive, fight till you forget. 'Cause it's gone in a flash. Yeah, shock it back to life. Yeah, put your heart in drive. Yeah. So cry, all you're gonna cry, finger to the sky. Just run back to where you live, back before you crash. Yeah, find out what you're worth. Yeah, when you take that curve and drive, fight till you forget. 'Cause it's gone in a flash. Yeah, shock it back to life. Yeah, put your heart in drive. Put your heart in drive.
Shayna Leigh, Drive, right here on the Chris Top program. And I'll tell you what, you are absolutely, positively, 100% for sure in the right place. And I sure do appreciate you being here. That song is so stinking catchy. I mean, it gets stuck in my head. It's going to be in my head all night. I'm not going to be able to sleep. Thanks a lot.
How it was designed, Chris.
You did that on purpose, didn't you? But no, it's really good, and you're so much fun to watch.
If you like leave the writing session and you're humming the melodies,
Mm-hmm.
it's a solid sign.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to run out of time before we know it. Now, technically, we're supposed to be done in 5 minutes, but would you be willing to go another 10 or so?
Of course.
Okay, good. Because we're tight.
Okay.
Because we're tight,
Because
right?
I'm really chatty.
Yeah,
So
you are pretty chatty. I'm like, can I get a word in, please? I mean, I'm kidding. Now...
Oh, you're not the first person who's told me that.
It's okay, maybe I'm not kidding. I don't know. Now, if you could have any superhero power, what would that power be?
Okay, this is... Oh. Okay, so I might be missing something that I really want, but what I think I want is, okay, I would like to be able to like press a button and have a bubble form around me.
Okay, I don't know where this is going. This is interesting.
It rolls so that I don't have to walk.
Yeah.
And that is like temperature, that I control the temperature.
Yeah.
So like, if it's cold out,
yeah,
I can just like be in like a heated bubble. I think this is like a New Yorker's dream. So like I can roll from place to place to place.
That would be kind of, and you could actually tell people to stay out of your bubble and it would be the truth.
Yeah, and like maybe I could just like, maybe it like also makes people like clear a path for me. So I just like roll, you know what I mean?
That is so weird.
Like I part
you
them.
would do
thought,
that.
I mean, this I've given thought to in my life.
Yeah.
I think flying would be like a very normal one to want, but
Sure.
I'm not normal, so I would like a bubble.
How about a flying bubble? That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool if it could fly, but like, what if I decided I don't like flying?
It's true. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard the bubble. That was the first time on the show, so you did good.
Thank you. I've given this real thought. It's
wow.
Real.
You should tweet that.
Yep, it's real thought. I want to be in a bubble.
Get out of my bubble. Would you like? Would you let your boy? Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Can I ask that?
But I mean, I date people.
Should I ask that?
You know, the bubble.
Okay.
The bubble is only when I want it. Like I don't want the bubble 24/7. I want to be able to like push a button, have the bubble.
Okay.
Conditions are not up to my standard.
Okay, but what if your boyfriend wanted to be in the bubble with you, like just to walk around? I mean, would there be room in the bubble?
You know, my bubble would get really crowded. In my dream,
Sure.
I only have the bubble. But
Sure.
maybe I should be a little bit more open-minded and like share my bubble.
You could, but then again, I mean, you know, a bubble's kind of your bubble. So I mean, if you start letting people
it's like
in it.
one person at a time. So
Okay.
like I could give one person a ride.
Gotcha. Now you said you date and stuff. So
I said I date and stuff.
yeah, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Now, with that being said, for you to find the perfect guy, now would you be willing for the right guy to make your music career second, or would the right guy have to understand that the music is always your first love?
Music will always be my first love. I imagine I will feel differently when I have children, if I have children.
Sure.
But I think when you like decide to create a life with somebody, you have to create it with them as who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who I am is someone who likes to create things and make music. So I don't think I could fall in love with someone who didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense.
I think that, I mean, you know, if I fell in love with somebody, I guess, who worked for Doctors Without Borders and was like saving people's lives, and like there were times where I couldn't do music, maybe that would be what I would have to do. But I don't know, a situation wherein it couldn't work, that I could do what I love, they could do what they love, and we could love each other.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm big. I think everything's going to work out. I don't know. I would not give up music for a guy, in my opinion.
Well, that's smart. I mean, it you know, you do love it. It is your passion, and you've wanted to do it your whole life.
I'm a stubborn one. I wouldn't give things. I wouldn't change for someone.
Yeah.
I'm not in the market for that kind of thing.
Now, if I wanted to see you perform live somewhere, how would I go about doing that? Is there a schedule put up anywhere, or do you?
There will be a schedule online. Hopefully, we're going to be announcing some dates pretty soon. Actually, yes, I will have it on Facebook. I will have it on Twitter, obviously, and I will have it on my website, which is Shayna Leigh, which spelled SHAYNALEIGH.com. It will be everywhere in my mind. So yes, you will know.
Now, so I want you to come to Nashville just so I can come see you.
I want to come to Nashville.
Well, you got to make it happen. But if I'm sitting out there in the audience, would you dedicate a song to me? That's important.
Absolutely.
Okay, you'd be like, hey, Chris, this is for you. And it doesn't matter what the song is.
Chris and everyone else, this is for you.
Wait a minute. No, that takes away. What are you doing?
Hey, Chris, this is for you. Everyone else, enjoy it too.
That would work. That's okay. It's all about the phrasing, I think. Okay, now I've got a hypothetical for you.
Okay.
All right. Say you are talking to the president of some big recording company, whether it's in New York, Nashville, wherever. And he looks at you and says, you know, Shayna, you got a good voice. You're pretty. You got the lips and everything and all that stuff. But, you know, you're just not for us. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You know, how would you react to something like that?
I mean, I would probably ask questions because I like to know the answer. I mean, in that moment, I probably would just leave.
Yeah.
But then I would then probably email and be like, just curious, like, what was it? Because I do think, you know, things like that happen all the time. And
that happens a lot more than the positive stuff.
Yeah, and it's not really a reflection on you. It's a reflection on his roster. It's a reflection on the resources available. It's a reflection on 1,000 things. And the more you're out in the world and you know why somebody accepted you to something and how arbitrary that is, then you realize the rejections are really arbitrary too. Of course, things still sting. You get your heart set on something, you want something badly, and it doesn't pan out in that moment. Yeah, it sucks. You might shed a tear or two. But it can't be personal at a point because there are really great people who are told no all the time. So it can't mean that you're not great because they're still great when they're rejected. Sure.
And when you're in the business, you're going to hear no a whole lot more than yes, for sure.
I don't find the rejection to be the way people think it is. I find it to be more like you're trying to find a way to make this work, and then you have a path that you think you're on, and then you're like, oh, not that path, got to turn around. Like, it just feels like a lot of detours more than a lot of concrete rejections.
Sure,
which I prefer.
Yeah, and it's always a learning experience too, I think, no matter how you look at it.
And assumption should be that there are going to be a ton of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And that there will be good ones.
Now, Rick's in the chat. He says, Chris, Shayna's the real deal. Love her music. He wants you to come to Florida. And then JP's in the chat as well. He says, I totally agree. I wish Shayna would come to Canada one of these days.
Ooh, Canada.
Yeah, so at least you'll sell one ticket if you go to Canada.
Great.
And one ticket in Florida.
Great.
So, you might be able to buy a drink or something.
You take what you can get.
Exactly. Now, the Powerball is just all over the news right now. It's over $1 billion. And, I'd be happy with a couple of million. Honestly. But the billion seems to be the new million. So what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you had $1 billion in your bank account?
I would recheck my bank account.
That's a great answer. Are you sure this is right?
I would confirm the truth of that. I would put a chunk of it away to never touch again.
Sure. What's a chunk of $1 billion? Like, would you put like 500 million away, or?
I don't know.
The interest on that alone, you won't ever have to work again.
I would put enough away that my children's children would be fine, probably. But I think I would give a huge chunk to my parents, a huge chunk to my sister.
Sure.
And then a huge chunk to other extraneous folks, obviously. I have aspirations at, I have a few friends who do different sort of community based, who aspire to, like, one of my friends wants to open an animal shelter. I would make sure she could do that. I have friends who want to open theaters. I would probably figure that out. I have aspirations at creating some sort of scholarship program for young artists so that they can make music or something like that. I don't clearly do not have the disposable income to make that work today. But in my mind, if I ever did achieve any amount of legitimate wealth, that would be something I would find a way to do. Particularly for people who are sort of, it's for people who need a boost.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I got really lucky. I got dealt a really lucky hand in terms of being able to take the time to do what I want to do, and I would want to help others.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can always tell who really loves what they do, because you would continue singing even if you were just stupid, filthy rich.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would. I would do it differently. I think I would continue singing if I had another career. I think I would. I just can't. That's something I can't imagine not doing.
Well, I would certainly hate it if you ever stopped for any reason.
Well, thank you. I would hate it too.
And I'm sure I speak for a lot of people. You know, we love listening to you and watching your videos and all that stuff. So,
yeah,
well, you're very welcome. I'm a new fan. I'm still new because I've only known you for a few weeks.
Chris.
What's that?
Welcome to the fray.
Oh, thank you. I feel so welcome. Okay, now I want to play this other song, Typhoon, and then we'll come back and and we'll wrap it up after that. I won't keep you too much longer. But where did Typhoon come from?
Typhoon, I was really hesitant to write a love song because I felt like growing up, all the songs were relationship songs, and I was always the kid without a boyfriend, and I was like, I don't like this when I was like a teenager.
How did you never have a boyfriend? You're lying.
Ask the boys from my high school.
What were they, dumb? Why didn't you have a boyfriend?
I had one eventually, but like I felt like not like the girl that the guy. I was not the girl the guys wanted to take on dates. So,
well, were you too masculine or what? What did you?
No, I don't.
Did you threaten to beat them up?
No, I was very nice.
Are you sure? Okay.
So I think I had a real awkward phase.
You're still kind of awkward.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
So I felt very annoyed when all of like the top 40s hits were love songs because I felt like, what if I never fall in love? All my problems are different than that. So
did you say that stuff out loud while you were walking down the hallways? That's probably
no, that didn't
why.
Help me. No. I think that I wanted to write songs that like young me or the young me's would relate to. However, my co-writer producers were like, Shayna, every song in the world is a love song. You have to write at least one. So, then I thought about it, and Typhoon actually has become one of my favorite songs for a couple of reasons. A few things. When I was writing it, I thought to myself, well, if I can write this song, then I'm like probably one step closer to like finding whatever love I'm looking for. So like, you know what I mean? Kind of like The Secret in action. Like if I can write it, maybe I can have it.
Sure.
So there was that, but also, I kind of realized that I was underselling love and making it all romantic. And it doesn't have to be romantic. And like my life is most aptly categorized by, the love I have for my family, the love I have for my music, the love that I have for my friends and for life itself. So I then took Typhoon to be about that for me. And it became very easy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because we all love something.
Sure.
Someone.
Now, when guys hear this song, are they like, "Oh, Shane, I love you"? Or do they like hit on you after you sing this?
In person, no. On the internet, sometimes.
All right, so we're gonna play Typhoon, Shayna Leigh, right here on the Chris Top program.
Looks like weather about to spin me round. Had a heart like leather, no one, no way, no how. But I can feel the winds of change, carried on the words you say. Oh, how your body impacts me. Layering
again, it's just stuck in my head, and it's going to be in my head all night long. But that's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a good. At least it's a good song.
Thank you.
If it's going to be stuck in my head, at least it's good.
Yeah, I understand the character of that.
Yeah. Now, you just told me something really exciting. Now, even though you're in New York and I'm in Nashville, I will have the opportunity to see you perform live.
Yes, I am going to start. I was doing live stream concerts shortly before the holidays, and then the holidays kind of knocked me out. And I'm going to start again I'm gonna try out Periscope through Twitter. So
okay.
Because I love Twitter, so I must love Periscope.
Sure.
And do a bunch of live concerts. So that's gonna be fun.
Well, yeah, when you get ready to do those, you feel free to post those or send me the links, and I'll promote them on my my pages.
Do. I'm going to do one on Friday. I don't know what time yet, but I'm going to do one.
Well, as soon as you find out, make sure you tweet me or something.
Contact you first and foremost.
Yes, I like being in the loop like that. Now, so when you do get to that point where you're, playing these really big venues and stuff like that, I do get backstage passes. Have we covered that yet?
Yes, you got them.
Okay, good. Because I like feeling cool. Like
I understand that.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, I just want to kind of hang out in the green room and, sip some hot tea, whatever they drink in the green room. I don't know.
I will have tea in my green room, I imagine.
Okay, that's good.
I like tea.
So what about, I'm in love with your videos. So when's the next video coming out?
The next video, we are hopefully going to shoot it the end of this month or the beginning of next month. And then it should be out a few weeks after that. So hopefully within the next 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to have a new video.
So do we know what song we're going to choose yet? Or?
Yes, it is going to be for Goodbye July.
Mm-hmm. I don't guess I've heard that one.
It's sort of the most up-tempo song I've done a video for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most, I would say, optimistic sounding song. It's though it is a sort of oddly sad song, it has a very up-tempo feel to it, or a lively feel. I feel bright in a way.
Has that been released yet? Can I hear it, or is it?
Yeah, it's on iTunes on my album.
Okay. Now, are you constantly writing and putting out new music, or do you have anything in the works that we haven't heard or can't hear?
I'm also working on an EP that I want to release in the end of the winter, April, May. So as we're getting into spring, I guess that is the plan. So, yes and no. For me anyway, there are times where I'm just focused sort of on working with what I have at that moment, but it sort of depends how full my plate is,
Sure.
If I'm on tour, I probably am not writing that much.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes and goes in waves. It's in waves for me.
If you want to get back on the program sometime before you release your new EP, you can send me the songs and we can do snippets and kind of tease people and talk about it.
That'll be cool.
That'd be fun. And I'm saying that not so much for you, but I like to hear songs first.
Got it. Yeah, you like things first.
Right. I like to, like I said, I like to be in the loop, and it makes me feel important. So it's good.
Yeah, sure, I'll loop you in.
Yeah, I won't share it with anybody. Just a little,
Totally, that would be excellent.
Just a little snippets. Okay, well, I had so much fun talking to you and getting to know you and sharing your stuff with everybody.
This has been an absolute delight.
Aw.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're very welcome. You're in the loop now, so anytime anything important comes up, or if you want to get back on the show, you just let me know and we'll make it happen.
Thank you, Chris. You're the best.
Oh, I got you. I told you I got you.
I am pleased.
Now, okay, so one more time, how can I stalk you?
Everything Shayna Leigh.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter and Instagram and Periscope are Hey Shayna Leigh, HeyShaynaLeigh. Facebook, search Shayna Leigh, spelled the same way.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, same thing. Website is ShaynaLeigh.com. I think that about covers it.
Right. Shayna is an absolutely lovely person, so
I try.
Make sure that you go out and you buy her music. Don't steal it. All right. I know it's easy. It's easy to steal, but don't do it, because if you support her and you believe in what she does and you want her to make more stuff, skip your Starbucks one day and buy the album. That's all you got to do.
You tell them.
Hey, I told you I got your back. But thank you so much for listening, everybody. And like I said, and I always say this, I don't take you for granted. I promise you that. Until I broadcast again, please remember life is good, and I'm gone.
Maybe dark things might be looking grim. I guess it's time